So it's been too long since I made a video, and I'm tired of roller coasters and amusement parks. So what I've been doing since we last had a video is I managed to successfully repopulate the village of Del Monte.
Those chickens are going crazy.
Yeah, those chickens are going crazy. But I'm very pleased. It took a while to figure out what to do and make it work. So the first thing I did was I added beds. As you'll recall, none of these houses at the lower part of the village had any beds in them. So I put 1 or 2 beds in each of the houses, wherever I could find an empty space for it.
Yeah, because if the villagers don't have beds, they'll just run around at night, and then they could get attacked by a zombie.
Yeah, as soon as somebody's in game nearby at night, it'll generate zombies or things to kill the villagers. The second thing I did was I started making stairs so that it would connect the 2 parts of the village, because there was no way for villagers to get up and down between the upper level and the lower level. So there were still some villagers up here, as you'll recall. And
Yeah, like that one.
yeah, and
That one.
well, there are even more now. But there were plenty of villagers up here. So I had turned mob griefing off because I was tired of having creepers blow up things and leave craters in my front yard. But I looked it up, and you can't have, the villagers can't pick up food if they don't have mob griefing turned on. And if they don't have food, then they can't reproduce. So I had to turn mob griefing back on. And then the next thing I did was I came over here to the farm that was already here.
To get bread?
Yeah, normally I wouldn't steal the farmer's crops, but I figured that I was making bread and then I was going to give it back to them, so I was just helping out, right?
And you're also replanting them?
And I replanted everything that I took. And so I collected a bunch of wheat and made lots of bread and fed it to the villagers. I think I gave each of them 5 loaves up here. I wasn't clear on exactly how much they needed to each get. So I had the farmer kind of glaring at me, but I was trying to be helpful. And so I gave everybody up here in the upper part of the village 5 loaves of bread. We had the 2 fishermen working over there. And once I gave everybody bread, there were lots of little kids running around the village. At one point, I think there were 4 baby villagers running around up here.
There's another right there.
Yeah, cute little families, except the parents don't watch the babies at all. They just kind of wander off. I had to rescue one that got stuck in a pit.
Maybe you should sometime fix that crater.
Yeah, I probably should. There's still some work that could be done around here to make the village work a little bit better. But that at least got things improved. It's close enough to the lower part of the village that some of the baby villagers would go down the stairs to sleep in the lower beds at night, and then they became the villagers in the lower part of the village. But the AI for the villagers is not very smart. I had a few of them get stuck on the corner right here because they couldn't figure out how to get down, even when there were stairs right next to them. But at least some of them did eventually get down to the lower part. Maybe I should put railings on this. That would just take so much railings because it's a very steep climb.
And maybe turn auto jump off, because auto jump is when you hit something, and you have auto jump on, that you can jump up. It automatically jumps up for you. So yeah, you might consider turning it off.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a butcher who's trying to work at a smoker just inside that house, but can't figure out how to get in. They're not the cleverest AI there ever was. And there's a cleric who's trying to get up to the top to work at his brewing stand. But there are brewing stands down here. In fact, I had to build this new staircase for the farmer because the farmer had come down the stairs and was then standing at the bottom of the waterfall, completely incapable of getting back up to the composter on top. And of all the different jobs, I figure the farmer is the most important for keeping the village populated, since they're the one that's able to feed everybody so that they can make baby villagers.
Yeah, the farmers are like the ones that can actually throw the loaves of bread to other villagers.
Yeah, that's what it said. I read the Wikipedia page on how to breed villagers. I also fixed a bunch of the pathways. And so because Minecraft just kind of puts pathways down from above without paying attention to whether you can actually get up there if there's a steep cliff or something, there were some kind of nonsensical pathways around here. And I don't think I got them all fixed, but I cleaned them up a good bit so the pathways actually go somewhere. So there's actually I didn't put the wood down there. There was actually a dock down there to begin with. And so there are several stairways to go up to the upper level if you want. Excuse me. And as you can see, we have an iron golem now. That took me a while and a lot of trial and error, because it just said to put the iron blocks in a T shape with the jack-o'-lantern on top of them. And it didn't say how to set them up. So I tried a whole bunch of different layouts of T shapes before I figured out it makes perfect sense that you want to make it look kind of like a body and arms with the jack-o'-lantern for the head. That made sense, but we finally got an iron golem out of it. And hopefully that iron golem will not attack me and will be happy to protect the villagers and won't just wander off. I haven't quite yet figured out how to keep the iron golem from wandering off.
No, they say at the village, and you can name iron golems so that, you could name them.
Okay. I'd wanted to talk about the bell. The village didn't have a bell originally, but Carmel by the Sea had 2 bells, so I just took one and brought it over here. Carmel doesn't need 2 bells, does it?
No.
But now the villagers can go up and down. They still don't go up and down a lot. I'm not sure if it's safe for a village to have 2 iron golems, but I was thinking about making another one on the upper level, just so that there would be one to protect all the villagers up there. And there are still, I think, 3 beds that nobody uses in this lower part of the village. There aren't very many people down here yet. I might build more farming areas, build up the farming area, try to get another composter for another farmer down here. And there's room for a few more houses. Maybe it's ridiculous for me to be building up a village for the NPC villagers, but it makes it better for trading with too, right? So that's kind of my hope. This village is a little bit out of the way, but you go past it to get to other things. And having a few good villages with a lot of stuff available, especially with these 3 villages that are all fairly close together, could be a useful thing to have.